Hey guys, welcome back to the fourth episode of our MVRK miniseries. Last week, we saw that Joseph was sold by his brothers to some traders who eventually sold him into slavery in Egypt. Now, Joseph had a lot to complain about, but instead of doing that, he decided to commit to excellence and prospered in his position. Now, last episode, I talked about Joseph hitting an all-time low, but he seems to be doing pretty good for himself. However, things with Joseph seems to always get a little bit worse. Let's dive into the text and see what I was talking about. I'm in Genesis 39, verses 6 through 8. So why don't you follow along? Joseph was a very handsome and well-built young man, and Potiphar's wife soon began to look at him lustfully. "Come and sleep with me," she demanded. But Joseph refused. "Look," he told her, "my master trusts me with everything in his entire household. No one here has more authority than I do. He has held back nothing from me except you, because you are his wife. How could I do such a wicked thing? It would be a great sin against God." So Joseph is put into an awkward situation. He can either disobey a direct order from his owner's wife or do what he believes God thinks is right. So Joseph defies her and does what is good in God's eyes. Luckily for him, at the beginning, there were no repercussions. It was a good choice. However, Potiphar's wife eventually gets tired of his denial of her. And as we look, you can see what she does. One day, however, no one else was around when he went in to do his work. She came and grabbed him by his cloak, demanding, "Come on, sleep with me." Joseph tore himself away, but he left his cloak in her hands as he ran away from the house. When she saw that she was holding his cloak and he fled, she called out to her servants. Soon all the men came running. "Look," she said, "my husband has brought this Hebrew slave here to make fools of us. He came into my room to rape me, but I screamed." Potiphar was furious when he heard his wife's story about how Joseph treated her. So he took Joseph and threw him into prison where the king's prisoners were held. And there he remained. Joseph is accused of a heinous crime, one that he didn't commit and is thrown into jail for. So to see Joseph's story so far, he's been beaten by his family and thrown into a pit, sold to traders, then sold into slavery again. Now he's been accused of a heinous crime and thrown into prison. Joseph's life isn't going probably how he planned it would. At this point, it's hard to see how Joseph can stay positive. But Joseph isn't worried about the situation that he is in. He's worried about how he can continue to glorify God. And as we continue through this story, we see that that's what he's looking to do, just the next thing that he can do to glorify God. Now, next episode, we finally get to see Joseph's life begin the upswing. So far, we've seen him go down and down and down. But God finally takes him in a new direction, and we get to see God's plans for Joseph and the future finally be fulfilled. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode, and I'll see you next time.